Gomez. Gomez brings it down on the volley. Oh, you must be kidding me! Right here, Balotelli, Aguero. Who will it? Oh, brilliant goal from John.
Welcome back to the long-awaited return of the Scoreline podcast. Sorry, everyone, for our inconsistent uploads. It was a lot down to college exams, finishing up essays, bit of time with the family. A lot of me going back home to Dublin to see the family. So yeah, we will be keeping our uploads pretty scheduled after this. But yeah, thank you for all our fans who have been long awaiting it. I've received many messages asking for it to come back. So thank you guys. But yeah, we are going to catch up with all the Premier League football we've missed. We'll go over the last game week, and we'll also stuff in what we think is going to happen in the coming game weeks. So yeah, and a bit of transfer news as well. So yeah, welcome back to myself and my two co-hosts. Say hi, guys.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I think we should also address that I'm green this video. We don't know
You're not green anymore. You're not green.
You're
anymore.
actually okay now.
All right, because sometime in the video I may go just a bit green, but yeah, that's fine. So first things first, let's go over our teams, how we felt that they've done since the last podcast. Let's start with late title pushers, Man City. How do you guys feel like you're doing?
Yeah. City are going to win the league.
Yeah, I think
That's
so
all
too.
I have to say. John Stones, Diaz, solid. You know, Gundogan's on a mad one. De Bruyne is on a mad one. Bernardo Silva's on a mad one. Yeah, I think the team are gelling really well. They're finishing their chances now. Like they're playing well. They're playing well. I like it. It's like both the Manchester teams have come together. They've clicked, and now they're kind of.
I have an interesting theory about why you guys are doing so well. I don't know if you guys agree. I think City kind of, and not just City, I think Pep kind of learned a bit of pragmatism. Like before, he just kind of was like, I'm going to play my way, the beautiful, beautiful football, and we're going to win the league. And if we don't, we still played it really nicely. But especially over like the last 5 matches you guys have had, they've all been clean sheets. You guys have played really professionally. I think he's just kind of realizing that maybe the Pep Guardiola style, just play it beautifully, always play it out from the back, is not really, can be found out. And I think that's really helped him over the last 5 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a bit of that, but also he finally kind of like found a solution to the problem, like the striker problem. You know, Aguero is still out.
Yeah.
And Real Jesus has just not been consistent enough to be a starter, right? But
Just
now
a
he's doing
wank.
weird stuff like putting De Bruyne as the sort of like center forward in a false 9, and stuff like
Yeah.
that is working, and it's throwing people off because we talked about this before. It seemed like City's kind of held the same style for the last 3 years. So, you know, at some point teams are going to find ways to adapt against that style. So I think Guardiola's shown a lot of adaptability, and that's helped City the most, as well as a lot of like standout individual performances, especially on the defensive side. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy how, you know, he signed Diaz sort of to replace Stones, right? Because Laporte was somebody everybody rated. The Stones had been bad for a fairly long time, but the new partnership is crazy. Stones is back and Diaz is solid. Now Laporte is on the bench. I mean,
Yeah. Crazy
whatever
that
gets the
Laporte-
results, right?
It's crazy that Laporte is
Oh.
on the bench.
Is he
Yeah.
fully fit, or is he still coming back to fitness?
Laporte? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really
Well-
care, to be honest. I like the partnership we have at the moment.
Bro, I said this before that, like, I think I do rate Stones, even though that everyone was kind of calling him a donkey and he was really bad. I remember you saying, George, you just fucking hate him. Like, I think he's really good on the ball. I still think he can every once in a while make a few defensive errors, but I think Diaz is so good.
Yeah, for sure. I think Stones just needs someone to like make him aware of what's going on. Like Diaz organizes defense, and then he will be yelling orders back and forth, and that really helps Stones because the man, I don't know, sometimes it feels like he does silly mistakes, gives the ball away way too easily or does stuff like that. But apart from that, he's very solid. You know, he's a
Yeah.
guy who can actually throw like a really decent long ball forwards
Yeah.
and get a play going. That's something Diaz is not as good at doing, but that doesn't matter. They complement each other super well. So it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think if I'm honest, I still think City's maybe lacking a lethal striker. I know the false nine's working currently, but even though like if you look at City's points, it looks like they're going well. And I mean, they are scoring goals, 2 against United, 1 against City, 1 against Brighton, 4 against Palace, 2 against, like, it looks like they're scoring a lot of goals, but a lot of them are coming from weird players that won't keep this up. Like, for example, the Palace game, John Stones scoring 2 and Gundogan scoring 1. It's like Gundogan is not someone who's notorious for getting a lot of goals this season, and John Stones is a center back. So I think they do need that outlet. Yeah,
Gundogan scored 5 in his last 7 games, can I just say?
Yeah, no, he's hit a really hot run of form, but you can't really hope he keeps that up for the next 19 games.
No, can't. But if we can continue what we're doing now throughout the rest of the season, we'll definitely challenge for the title.
I mean, we are in transfer window, right?
Yeah.
Now's the time to fix those holes.
I don't think that City can do it now, though, because I think City's target is Haaland, and I don't think that you'll be able to get him in January.
I don't think he wants to go.
Here, look, I say we just make do with what we have. I don't think we need to sign another fucking player.
Do you not think, like, I'm trying to think of young strikers. I know that Dembele, that Celtic striker, is going off to a club. He would have been probably quite good. But I guess if your choice is sign kind of a short-term fix, and then
you can go for a consistent boomer, someone like Bas Dost,
like a Cavani, but
get out. I was about to say, I think Cavani would have been really good for City this year.
Yeah, somebody you can sign on like a 1-year deal, just kind of band-aid the season. I don't know if they really need it though. I think
is Bentner still around?
They do, but
yeah, boys, bring the Lord back.
You know, they didn't sell, when he signed for Juventus, they didn't sell a single jersey with Bentner on the back of it.
You know, one season at Arsenal, Monreal got 0 shirts sold. It was so sad. He's like our starting left back, and no one bought a shirt for him. I was like, my dad and me were really considering just buying that one to being the one person who bought the Monreal shirt.
He probably could have been famous off that if he bought it.
Maybe. Be the only person who was a Monreal shirt from that year. But yeah, I don't know. I think City can push for the title. I think that Liverpool are kind of showing at least what I've been saying for the last few years, which is Klopp is a magician. Like, I actually don't think many of the Liverpool players are world class. I just think that Klopp is so fucking good at making them look the way they are that when they start like a bit of dip in form, like their front three is in a dip and all that kind of stuff, that I don't think they'll be able to push. We'll go a bit more in depth in Liverpool when we get there, but still, I think you guys will win the league this year, because I think Man United are shit, even though they're like top of the league and all that kind of stuff. I just think that they will drop off eventually. Leicester City won't do another Leicester City, and I mean, then your biggest challenger is Liverpool, who's, I guess, you know, a decent few points behind, 5 points behind.
They're playing in half an hour, I think.
Yeah, but surely they'll beat Burnley.
Yeah, surely. But hopefully not. Ideally.
Yeah.
You know, like a few weeks ago, though, I still thought Liverpool was just going to take a repeat of last year. But recently, they have been dropping points. And it's hard to tell why. Like, I mean, if someone were to ask you what's wrong with Liverpool, it's kind of hard to say, apart from the obvious, you know, injuries. Like, say, I mean, it's a hard question, right?
No, I don't think, honestly, I don't think it's that difficult to break down. I think, like, if you just look at the lineup versus Southampton, Fabinho and Jordan Henderson at center back. I know Jordan Henderson is Mr. Consistent and all that, but he's not a center back. They're playing They're playing 2 defensive mids as center backs, and I know that Pep Guardiola can do that. Like, I think he did it for Barcelona, but you just can't, like, when you don't have a system that supports that kind of play, I just don't think it's that good. I think also, if you look at it, Trent Alexander-Arnold been awful this year, been really, really bad. I think Gini Wijnaldum hasn't really kept up the form he has from the national team. And I think that they're three front players have all lost form at the exact same time.
Firmino's dog wank. He's never
Yeah,
been
he
that
is.
good.
Nah, he's like, do you know when you're playing like street football or like five-a-side and you have that guy who's like crazy good skills and just misses open goals? That's like
Yeah.
that's what I think about Firmino. Like he is quite skillful, he just can't score.
But you know, in their game against United, I think they still came way closer than United did to winning. You see what I mean? But I mean, if you think
Alisson had
United
to make
sucks,
2 big saves.
he did, but especially in the first half, that game looked doomed.
Bro,
Second half
the
was a
first
bit better. But
Nah, I think the first 30 minutes Liverpool were on top and then they just started to crumble.
I was
think,
kind of the
for that
same
game.
with the Liverpool City game. Liverpool were kind of in front for the first 20 minutes, and then it was pretty level for the rest of the game.
I think Liverpool's big issue, in my opinion, is actually not their starting lineup. I think it's their bench. Like something that United and City have kind of up and above them is like when it's not going great for City, they can bring on players that would get into the Liverpool first team. When United isn't going well, they can bring on Donny van de Beek, who's still a very good midfielder. They could bring on, if Martial's not playing, Martial or someone else. But if you look at the Liverpool bench, the only recognizable names is like James Milner. He's about 65. I know he's still good, but he's not really someone you want to bring on. Shaqiri, Origi's never really been that good. And then all the rest of them are like academy products, you know? Like they don't really have that depth.
And Mina, this dude's like 26, but like no.
Bro, he's ass.
Is he 26?
Yeah, he's ass.
He's been there for a minute, dude. Actually, no, he hasn't.
No,
But he
Oh,
was
they just signed him
wasn't
last
he?
season.
Last season, January.
Yeah.
It's
And
been
he's
a
every
year,
time
yeah.
he comes on for like 20 minutes, and it's just like nothing happens. It's kind of tragic, honestly.
To be fair, right? To be fair to Liverpool, they have had a lot of injuries this season.
Yeah, they fucking deserve it. I don't care if any Liverpool fans are listening. Last season was such a bullshit season. They got a lot of lucky calls and fucking goals and all that crap.
They won by like 20 points, man.
Yeah, I know they did. They deserved it, to be fair. But
yeah,
Conor, you know what I'm talking about. Like early season,
yeah, they just don't have they just never like the last 2 years for this great Liverpool team. They just haven't had any injuries, and like this year they've got their best 3 center backs out, which is really tragic for them. They've got Diego Jota out, who had just hit a really good run of form, and now he's out. And like that can do a lot to a team, you know. So
yeah, I think
Music to my
Jota
ears.
being there also put a lot of pressure on the other 3 because you saw they were getting rotated out. Now they're like, doesn't matter, dude. It's not like he's going to play. This dude is 18 years old ahead of me, right?
yeah,
So they're
Do
just
you think that pressure is affecting them?
yeah. Oh, and yeah and no, but I think Liverpool, in my opinion at least, like I said, I don't think their players are that good, if that makes sense. Like I know Salah has scored a stupid amount of goals, but if you actually look at him dribble, he's not that good. Like he's not some guy that's going to beat 4 or 5 players like Messi would and score, or even like Pulisic would. You know, when Pulisic just dribbles past a couple players, like he's not that kind of player. And I think Mane is really good, but I just think that, I don't know.
Salah's got pace and finishing. That's what he has.
Yeah. And he doesn't really have a
he's-
weak foot.
I think we're dismissing them a little too easily. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
they've done
no.
a lot.
They've
We
had
can't
like
just base it
4
on the last
bad
month.
games, and we're saying
Yeah.
that they're shit.
But even I said like last year, we obviously didn't have the podcast last year, but I was saying last year that I don't think that their players are that good, if that makes sense. Like I know that Salah would get into the Arsenal team, Salah would get into most teams, but the way I'm putting it is if Salah was in there instead, or Mane was in there instead of Sterling, it's like, I don't think that they would perform to a much higher level. Like if you took them out and put them in a different team, like the best way to describe this is when you take Ronaldo out of Madrid gets worse, and whatever team you put him in, like Juventus, gets better. He still scores. I think that if you took Salah out or Mane out of the team and put them into a different team, I don't think that they do the same thing.
I see what you mean.
Like if you took De Bruyne out and put them in any fucking team, it would just instantly improve them. If you put Kante or Fabinho or anything like that, then yeah. But I just don't think that their front players are like, that good. Like they're not like, oh my God, I'm scared of them. Like when Arsenal play Liverpool, I'm not like, oh shit, Salah's gonna score, I'm so worried. I'm more like, oh, they're just gonna wear us down and get like some cheese goal. I'm not like, oh, they're gonna score a banger. You know what I mean?
I think that's sort of the same feeling you get with City. Not right now, City, but the City we saw like 2 months ago, right?
Mhm.
There's all these players that they're so good and can be so good, but then there's something missing up there. I think for City it was more like a striker. For Liverpool, it's more. I don't know.
I think it's also a striker, dude.
I think
Firmino sucks.
Yeah, this is true. And also,
how do you think Firmino would do up top at City?
I think he'd be nuts at City. Weirdly enough,
No.
I think he'd be.
I think
so
he'd just
good.
be Jesus 2.0. Like,
nah, bro. Okay. This is why I'm saying I think he'd be nuts, right? It's because with the false nine system, Firmino already sort of plays that, and he's really good at it. He's really good at like linking the play and all that stuff. So I think he'd be really weirdly very good at City.
Yeah, but then De Bruyne, I think De Bruyne kind of suits that role, to be honest. The
maybe
center forward role.
You know who is undoubtedly shit and laughable? Chelsea. And we got to talk about that.
Jesus, yeah,
Good.
Chelsea have dropped off.
Bro.
Dude, what is that? Man?
I said this, yeah. When all of you fuckers were like, oh yeah, Chelsea are gonna be this title challenger or whatever. I called Frank Lampard ass. Now you guys are seeing why. He's so bad, bro. Like, okay, the game this season that really made me think, bro, you're shit, was when they lost 3-1 to us, and we were like to Arsenal, and we were bad. We hadn't won a game in like 9 games in the Premier League or something. We were so bad, and we beat them 3-1. And it wasn't even hard. It was just pretty easy.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just looking at the table now.
You had those full backs, and that defense was so good. And now they've got some injuries, right? I think Reece James was out for a bit, and Chilwell as well, and also dips in form from them. And you notice that in their forwards as well, because Werner wasn't scoring. He's still not scoring. And, the defense can't carry them anymore. They just can't, because their form wasn't going to last the whole season. And now you're watching Chelsea fall apart because they got nothing up there, dude. Nothing's going on up there.
Timo is not performing.
It's just not the move.
Bro, can I say this right? I don't think that their players are bad. Like, I think Kai Havertz is very good. I think Christian Pulisic is really good.
It's mental, bro.
It's the setup.
With Werner, it has to be mental.
I think it's the setup. I think it's the
bro?
tactics, bro. Like,
When you're playing Werner out in the left, like he can't.
Werner is not a left wing. Like, if you look at how Timo Werner was used in RB Leipzig, he was using a 2-striker system with one big man, one small man. You had the big man to hold up the play and maybe knock on the balls, and he uses his pace to kind of chase those balls in behind and get the goals from there. He's not someone who's gonna, he's not someone like a Giroud who's gonna power through people. He's not a very skillful striker. He's someone who loves, kind of like Aubameyang, loves to have the ball at his feet and fucking grass to run into. He just wants to fucking burn past you and score. And he's not, and even though he did so well in the Bundesliga, I watched him a lot for the German national team. He is not a clinical finisher. He's not like when you see him one-on-one in goal, it's not like when you see Aubameyang or Kane or whatever, you're basically already celebrating because they've scored. Timo Werner does miss a lot, and we've seen that this season. And I think Frank Lampard just doesn't play him the right way. Kai Havertz, the same. To bring Kai Havertz and Timo Werner and Hakim Ziyech tactically makes no sense. Kai Havertz and what's his face? Ziyech. Yeah, they both operate. If you look at their heat map, it's both on the right-hand side of the midfield, kind of cutting in. So when you bring two players who operate the exact same bit of the pitch, what are you doing? One of them's going to have to sit out. And Timo Werner, you need a 2-striker system to make him, incredibly useful. And Frank Lampard has never played the 2-striker system. So I don't know. And I mean, for the Leicester game, the 2-0 Leicester game, he dropped Kante for Mason Mount. I know that Mason Mount was
injured.
Was he?
He's been injured for a while, yeah, since New Year's.
Oh, okay. Fair
Yeah.
enough. But the double pivot of Mason Mount and Kovacic, you know what I mean? It's not
What
something
the
scary.
fuck happened to Jorginho? He was their captain.
Bro. He just died, dude. He just died.
I don't know, man. Dude, I feel like the pressure in that team is strong. Like, you don't see them players smiling ever. They look so sad all the time. They're really
Bro.
going through it.
Yeah, 100%. And you know how everyone is raving about Chelsea's like defense for like because they had like 6 clean sheets in a row or something.
I think it was
Yeah.
justified back then.
Yeah,
I
no.
think
But it was the center back pairing was Thiago Silva and Kurt Zuma. Kurt Zuma had a shit ton of goals from center back from all those corners. And then he just drops him for Leicester. He's on the bench. And when he came out for the interview, they basically asked him why. And he's like, when things are going poorly, you have to change things up. You don't take your best center back out to change things up. You know what I mean? Don't fix something if it's not broke.
I get that.
Yeah, they put in Rudiger.
Fair point.
Bro, Rudiger played so bad that game. So bad.
He is bad.
Oh, he's
He's
ass.
bad. Apparently, Chelsea are actually looking for a new manager. Not necessarily looking, but they have their eyes open. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I
So-
think
They
he's
wouldn't be.
sacked by
They
the
wouldn't
end
be
of the season.
opposed to a new one.
Exactly.
Bro, he's sacked by the end of the season 100%.
Yeah.
Bro, but I think if they do what I hope they do, which is sign Rafa Benitez, I'm gonna laugh because Rafa Benitez is such a defensive fucking manager, and they've just signed like 200 millions worth of attacking talent. That's like signing Jose Mourinho after you've signed like all these players. It's like there's no point. Pick someone who's a bit more attacking.
Can I give a quick shout out to 2 more City players, real quick, that I forgot to
Go on.
mention?
Go on.
Phil Foden and João Cancelo.
Oh, I love João Cancelo, by the way.
I'm so glad he's starting now and playing well because he's so good attacking wise.
Yeah.
He's all right defensively. He's not Rio Ferdinand or whatever, but he is really good attacking wise. And also,
Yeah.
Phil Foden is the best youngster I've seen in the Premier League.
Bro, you obviously haven't seen Emil Smith-Rowe or Saka.
Shut up. He's played 5 games. Phil Foden
Pedro
scores
Neto,
week in, week
To
out.
be fair.
No, he's very good. He's very good. I think Phil Foden needs 38 games under his belt. He needs a season where, like Saka's having this season, where he plays every week.
Saka's
see
playing
how-
very well as well, to be fair.
Yeah, Saka's nuts. To tie up on Chelsea though,
Wait,
I
one
think-
last thing on Foden.
yeah.
I will say he has the most punchable face I've ever seen. Like, I hate that kid's face. He just annoys me. I don't want to
Oh,
like
he
him.
does that slit eyebrow as well. It's
Oh
so
my God,
Yeah.
in this cut, I don't rate that cut, G. I don't.
Nah.
what? He's
Nah,
like
dude,
19.
he
Leave him alone.
pisses me off. Like, I don't want to. Exactly.
He's probably
a
younger than you,
19-year-old.
mate. Leave him
That's
alone.
what I'm saying, bro. Like, he's young. He's actually good. So I don't want to hate on him, but bro, that face. Like, he just take a swing, man.
Exactly. No, honestly, right? I don't mind him. I think to talk on the England squad, they have a really bright future. I mean, with like the young crop coming in with who's really good right now. So there's like Sancho, Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, Foden, Tomori's quite good. Is there anyone else who's really young? Obviously, Trent Alexander-Arnold's not that old.
Mason Mount.
Do you know what I really
Maybe.
don't want? Do you know what I really don't want? I don't want Gareth Southgate to start John Stones for England, because what that does is John Stones has never played a good game at centre back for England ever. And if he starts playing centre back for England, he's going to start realizing his old habits. He's going to say, "Oh shit, where's Ruben Diaz? Where's he at?" And he's going to become shit again.
Yeah.
I think
You know who? Bench Sterling. Sterling has been so trash, man. Like, please, George. Like, you're a City fan, but you
he
have
scored
to
a
say.
banger of a free kick.
Nah,
bro,
fam,
against
stop.
Palace.
bro, I
Nah.
agree with Gui, fam. He's not that good.
Dude,
I know
nah.
he's not that good. I
Bro,
agree with you.
you
His
wanna know
finishing
something?
sucks.
He's missed 3 out of 3 penalties recently.
His finishing sucks. Okay, I agree with you. The only thing he has to his name is pace, and he looks like a T-Rex when he
Yeah.
works. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Bro,
honestly, right? I think Sterling isn't a bad player. It's just if I were City, I would cash in on that dude and buy someone better because he's not that good.
I miss Sane.
I agree.
I miss Sane so much.
Bro, I don't know why you sold Sané. Sané is double the player Raheem Sterling is.
Yeah,
at
well,
least.
we sold him because he wanted to go. He wanted to leave for like 2 seasons. And also, I watched a video on it. There's like some dispute that him and Pep had behind the scenes.
Fair.
And they hated each
I think
other.
Sterling needs to be dropped for England. Just sit him on the bench for a while, see what the young kids can do. And
Because they got options, you know. So,
I'd take a nice swap deal for Rashford. I'd take a
Dude,
Rashford.
no chance United is doing that.
Bro,
No chance.
no chances United doing that because he's a little golden boy.
Yeah,
Also,
I know.
I wouldn't even do that.
It would never happen. Oh, do you know who I want to sign?
Who?
Someone like Lozano or some shite.
You've been playing too much FIFA, George.
Yes, I am, but that doesn't matter. He's good.
Bro, maybe like a Raheem Sterling for like a
What
João
about
Felix
Andre
or
Silva?
something. Andre Silva's nuts. Can I just say?
Who would fit City's left wing very well?
João Felix.
Left
Felix
wing.
on the wing.
Bro, he's like I know he's cracked like up front and kind of at the cam spot, but I bet you that because the way Pep's wingers work is they kind of cut inside. I bet you João Felix with Pep would be nuts.
You know what? We're probably eyeing him up because of how many Portuguese players are in our side now.
Yeah.
That's just true.
All right, we'll get to the transfer news at the end, though. Moving on to a team who is only 2 points behind Chelsea, even though before we did this, they were in relegation. We were basically in a relegation battle, and Chelsea were looking for the title. Arsenal. Basically, we're cracked. That's all I have to say. We have the Croydon De Bruyne. We're nuts. Nah, not to take the piss. I mean, we did get banged. Before this podcast, we lost 1-0 to Burnley due to a red card. We got a red card against Southampton, 1-1. We lost to Everton 2-1 and then lost to City 4-1. So it was looking fucking bleak, dude. I was barely even watching the matches because I was just like, nah, this is just sad. Like, if you look at the amount of red cards we've had, it's just stupid. So coming into the Chelsea game, I was not optimistic. I was just like, nah, we're going to get banged. And proved wrong. Proved wrong a bit. 3-1. And we've actually, since that Chelsea game, kept a clean sheet 5 out of 5 games. So, yeah, now we're doing pretty well. I wonder from an outsider's point of view, how are you guys looking at it?
Obviously, you know, Emile Smith-Rowe, he's quite a little talent. So is Saka.
Nuts, yeah.
Partey doesn't need to be spoken about.
Bro, can I just, before you continue, right? You know how Thiago Alcantara, like when he plays, he does everything so effortlessly. Like he looks like he's not even trying and he'll hit like a 60-yard ball that lands perfectly to the guy's foot. Yeah. Thomas Partey does the same thing. All his passes look like he doesn't give a shit and they land all at the right spot. I fucking love that guy.
Yeah, I don't rate Lacazette, obviously. He's so shit.
Bro, he's so good. What are you doing?
What do you mean? He's so bad.
He scored 5 goals in the last 7 matches.
I still don't rate him. I think he's like
he's genuinely, besides Thomas Partey and maybe Emile Smith-Rowe, he's probably our most important player.
Yeah, well, it's either him or Aubameyang that has to come up with the goals, really, or Saka. No one else really scores.
Yeah, no, I think Arsenal's issue is kind of that we only have 4 players who score, except for Tierney's banger. We got to get that in against West Brom. Yeah. But
I think that guy's pretty good.
Bro, Tierney is currently the best left back.
Even when Arsenal was in the dirt, I still thought he was alright.
Nah, bro, João Cancelo is a better left back.
Get out of here, George.
What do you mean, get out of here?
Get out of here, dude.
João Cancelo was man of the match against.
Bro, listen, I actually genuinely think Kieran Tierney's the second best left back in the league behind Robertson. He's so good.
João Cancelo.
Watch it. Next time Arsenal have a match and he's playing, watch him. He's nuts. But he is so fast. He's defensively probably our best player. And his in terms of his crosses, he is up there in terms of.
All right, I'll compromise crosses. With you. Tierney's better defensively. Cancelo's better attackingly.
No, this is
I-
stupid. Cancelo is just better. Like, I don't know what you mean.
Shut up,
I mean,
man.
obviously
Dude,
you're a bit biased because you're
you
Portuguese.
little Portuguese
Bro,
biased.
dude, how are you comparing Tierney to Cancelo?
I'm leaning
Cancelo
towards
has been
Gui
insane.
because I
Okay,
think
so
he's probably better than Tierney.
just for the viewers watching this, we have a City fan who obviously Cancelo plays for, and a Portuguese fucker down there who's on
I
his
still
team.
think
So,
Cancelo's good. He was man of the match the other day.
bro, okay, yeah, he's good, but he's been good for a short period of time. Tierney has literally
Whoa,
probably
Chief, no.
no,
That's
he's been
cap.
good, but like City
He's
haven't
always
been playing
been
him.
good. He just never got the chance to play.
Exactly, but Tierney has literally been an 8 out of 10 for about 2 years now.
I see what you mean. He has more games under his belt. He has more proof that he's better. He has more proof.
But anyways, to move into a bit more analysis, we're just gonna accept that Tierney's better. To move into a bit more analysis,
man.
Better, man. You're probably gonna say Saka's better than fucking Phil
Football.
Foden or whatever.
Nah, not yet. He's on his way though. No, so we have in terms of our defense, I don't know. You guys haven't been. I'm assuming you guys haven't been watching many Arsenal games now.
No.
No,
Rob Holding has been really, really good. He's had a weird resurgence since over the last couple games, and he's looking really solid. I think a lot of questions on Arsenal fans' lips is why is Gabriel not playing? Like, we obviously have kept 5 clean sheets, so no complaints there. But David Luiz has been playing, and I don't know why instead of Gabriel.
Fuck that guy. He killed our season, man. Ironically.
Yeah, bang.
surely
But-
he has to be one of the most. He's probably given away nearly the most penalties out of any defender's career ever.
Bro, we have to be looking at Ramos for that. Ramos is fucking.
Yeah, I know. Ramos
But
has had the
anyways.
most red cards out of anyone.
Yeah. But, this season he's actually not been bad. I think Gabriel got injured, and maybe he's just making sure that Gabriel doesn't get injured again. But, yeah, Cedric played really, really well. We will love to hear that. He actually played like weird. Usually he's quite boring when he's played for us. Like, he plays the simple passes. But against who did we play? Newcastle. He was like trying flicks. He was doing back heels. He's been a bit nuts, really. Thomas Partey, obviously the fucking crown, the jewel in the crown. He was so good. Xhaka looked really, really. Xhaka has been solid for the last 5 games. And then obviously Saka and Smith Rowe, kind of the 2 shining lights of our team. I knew Smith Rowe was good from a few seasons ago when he scored a really good goal against Atletico Madrid in a friendly. I kind of thought, he's been really good. Been a bit unlucky with injuries, but because Mesut Ozil is fucked off, it's kind of left a hole for him to be in, and he's really, really good. He's got man of the match three games in a row. Aubameyang's scoring again, and Lacazette is playing the Firmino role, which is basically link the play up. He's super, super useful for Smith Rowe and Saka. So, yeah.
How do you feel about Ozil's exit?
I'm a bit sad that Danny Welbeck got more of a send-off than Mesut Ozil, but, like, he had to go no matter what was happening. The dude had to go. He was never going to get back in the team, whether that was politics. It definitely wasn't football related, because I know Smith Rowe has been doing really, really well. But before you put Smith Rowe in, are you going to really pick Smith Rowe over Ozil? No. And especially
Rory told me that the reason he got left out of the team was because he offended some of the people working for Fly Emirates or something. He called them He called them slaves or something. That's what Rory told me.
No, he did 2 things. One, he took a stand against the Chinese government for. Now, don't quote me on this, but I think it was for mistreatment of Muslims in China. And the second thing he did, what's the second thing he did? Also, there's a rumor going around that for anyone who plays any football sims or whatever, you'll know about contracts and stuff like that. I think that the rumor was that he might have been 1 game or 2 games away from triggering a clause in his contract to make his salary go higher. So it didn't. All the rumors that were coming out were definitely not football related. If you look at Arteta when he came in, he played him for 15 games in a row, and he started him every single game. So it's not like Arteta didn't want to play him. So I think it was politics based. I think that comment
Yeah.
just pissed people off, and he just
Also, he has some like shady friendship with the Turkish president, I think, who is a very shady man, by the way. Fuck that
No,
guy.
I think he just has an open friendship with a very shady man.
Yeah, and that's weird, very weird.
Yeah.
Because that guy's also extremely passionate about like the treatment of Muslims in China,
Yeah.
and he's like
He's going to get treated like a prince over there.
Yeah.
Dude, you saw? I saw this post. It's really weird, but it was a couple thousand fans of what team did he join?
Fenerbahce.
Fenerbahce.
Yeah, a couple thousand fans of that club were literally tracking his flight. Like I don't. That's just so boring. Just like watching his flight, like on those online trackers.
Yeah.
Like they're passionate. He's definitely getting like a.
I'm happy for him though. I
Yeah.
really am. I think people have their opinions on Ozil. Some people think he's shit. Some people just think he's the best footballer to ever grace the earth. But I think the truth of the matter is he is an excellent footballer. He is really, really good, and it's just going to be nice to see him playing football games again. I think it's just a tragedy to see such a good player, just being
This is
locked
like
out.
when Casillas got sent off from Madrid. I mean,
Yeah,
it was in a very poor, like, recently. It's like nobody's gonna look at it and be like, "Shit, we lost Ozil." But I mean, there's so much he's done for the club. You gotta have some respect. Put some respect on his name.
yeah. He's a really good player. I think the only downside to his game is that he doesn't look like he works hard in terms of he doesn't run back and track back and do all the slide tackles and stuff. But yeah, I think I'm just happy he's going to go play football somewhere.
By the way, we're about to run out of time in a minute.
Yep.
So we can start another one.
Yep. Before we move on to the next team, there'll be a cut, and we'll join you guys in a second.
Yes, sir.
We have to end. Oh, shit. We're back.
Hello,
Welcome.
We're back.
Yeah, welcome back. that was really organized.
Everybody
That was organized. Okay, we're gonna move on to a bit of a rant, which should be fun to listen to.
Grab your popcorn, folks.
Yeah, we're moving on to Wolves.
Also, Connor's green. So
yeah, I'm green. So sorry everyone for being green, but
You're like extra green now, more green than before. God damn.
yeah,
But, yeah,
Greened
man.
out.
Wolves. Ever since we beat Chelsea, right? This was like the middle of December. Every game has felt unlucky, and that's a really, really bad way to look at it. You can't just say everything's unlucky because no, there has to be things that are wrong and you can fix. But if I'm gonna break it down, I mean, we've been seeing mistakes from players who shouldn't make mistakes. Players like Conor Cody, that's our captain, that's our most experienced player. Like Willy Bowley, now that he's back, they're giving up stupid penalties. They're making crucial mistakes leading to goals, and it's really sad to see. Like Cody got subbed off for the first time ever under Nuno. I think last game or two games ago, and that says a lot, right? That's a player you never want to take off unless something is really, really wrong. Yeah, and then obviously we've been playing without Jimenez. Fabio Silva has big boots to fill, and he can't just fill them. You can't expect that of a 19-year-old, and he hasn't been that great. That's just the truth, and no one could expect him to be that good. He had a good goal, but
yeah,
for like 5 games straight, he was never in the right spot, missing every shot he took, defending a lot, leaving like nothing going forwards. He just looked lost on the pitch, like positioning wise, like somebody who's just not ready for the Premier League. And yeah, man, like it sucks. It sucks watching this, and it sucks that we've conceded so many like 95th minute penalties or 95th minute goals, and we're dropping points back and forth. I haven't lost faith in the season. We're not going to relegate. We're still much better than a lot of teams in the Prem, but it really sucks looking at it right now with all these injuries, with players dipping in form. But at least there are some shining lights. Pedro Neto is still crazy, still so good. It's just a joy to watch him. Yeah. Semedo has been great as well. Ait Nuri, he's kind of been up and down, but he's a young guy. He's Ait. He's a young guy.
We made that joke.
I think a worrying stat for Wolves fans would be that you guys haven't won a game in 8 games in the league.
Yeah. No,
wait to rub
sure,
it in, Connor. Jesus.
Bro, I have to. Do you not remember when Arsenal were shitters and I just got it every week? Just got it in the neck every week. It's time to give it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, hold up. But on this West Brom game, both of those scuffed. Did you guys see that shit?
Yeah.
How is that a pen, bro? Come on, man. Like we had 23 shots that game. This is what I'm saying. Like we're playing good football. We're just
Bro,
missing a striker.
you
I sound
sound
like
like me.
you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
3
sound
months
like me,
ago, man.
dog. Like 3 months ago, where I was like, bro, I swear the results don't like show the performances. Arteta was saying it at the time. It's like he's like, we're playing well, we're just not putting the ball in the back of the net. We're just not clicking. And I think like we had to change it up. The way that Arsenal changed their fortunes, we played a different formation. We brought younger players in. And I think Wolves might just have to do that because I mean, younger players always play for the manager because it's kind of like, oh my God, this is my moment to shine. This is my moment to kind of set my name up there. Whereas some older players, like we basically haven't played Willian in about 6 games because that dude doesn't have anything to prove. He's just there to pick up the paycheck. Whereas Emile Smith-Rowe is like, this is my moment to show everyone. So he'll run his heart out. So I think Wolves might have to do that.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the Tottenham and Man U game, right? You watch those.
Yo, bro, the Man U one was so
You
sad.
see, like, that's like a fine example of Wolves playing good football, and then shit happens, right? And in the following games, a lot of that shit happens moments happened. Like against Everton, they score off a set piece after being like dominated the entire second half. Shit, they got a goal. Whereas like it feels like Wolves are working for an hour to score 1 goal, and then we just give up a goal so fast. It seems like everybody's shutting off.
It's so weird because like
it's very weird. It's
so
not
weird.
what you expect.
Yeah, what I'd expect from a Wolves team is kind of like a bit of a
Organization.
sexier Burnley. I know that sounds weird, but like Burnley just plays shit football and defend. When I think of Wolves, I think of like very solid defensively, super hard to break down, doesn't concede many goals, and then super fast counterattacks. Get the ball to your right winger, left winger, and fucking sprint up the pitch and score like a counterattacking goal. But you guys just haven't been defensively solid. 3 to Brighton, 3 to West Brom. These are just teams that should not be conceding that many.
Experienced players giving up these penalties. Also, Patricio hasn't looked great. I mean, you can't really blame him for a lot of these goals, but still, he's just hasn't looked the same.
Yeah, but, I mean, for the Man U and the Tottenham game, Patricio couldn't do anything about it. Both were deflections.
Yeah. Look, I just hope we can get back on form. We have a game against Chorley tomorrow. Like, okay, that should be a fun one. Put some young guys in, whatever. Yeah. But then we got Chelsea, Palace, and Arsenal, and Leicester and Southampton. That's 4 really hard teams. Even Palace might be trouble, right? I just hope we get some points out of here. I don't think we're getting relegated. I'm not like panicking or anything. I still think this side, like, we're still solid. And I don't think many Wolves fans, at least from the ones like I'll see online and stuff, are calling for Nuno's head. A lot of people who actually watch the games understand that there's a lot going on, like a lot. And Nuno cannot be blamed for individual mistakes from like Bali and Cody and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right?
It's similar to like when you a couple months ago were like, why are you not more like into Arteta out? And it was for the exact same reasons you're saying. For all the Arsenal fans who are actually watching it, we can see that like when Xhaka or Pepe just fucking headbutts someone and gets a red card and we can't win the game, it's like, is that Arteta's fault? No. When David Luiz just decides to fall over and we concede a goal, it's like, is that Arteta's fault? No, it's not. It's like some games, like I think the Manchester City game, it was Arteta's fault when we lost 4-1 in the cup, because I think he thought that we've beat Manchester City a few times. Let's try play a bit more attacking, and we should have been a bit more defensive. But yeah, I think Nuno's in the same boat. I think Nuno and Arsenal are both in the same boat. Are there any players you'd like to see leave the club? Actually, are there any players that you think are kind of washed and you kind of want out?
Not really, dude. I mean, I don't want to call for anybody's head. Like Moutinho, for example, he's getting old, but he's still solid. He's still our man.
Patricio's pretty old.
So is Patricio, yeah. But I don't want to call for like Sice's head or Bali or Cody or anybody like that. Just I'm glad we're calling. I think what you said about getting some new blood in is important. Yeah. We have so many loans out. I think a few came back. Patrick Catrone, I think is his name. He came back. I'm not sure what he can offer, but stuff like that should help. Also, actually, dude, we're linked with Douglas Costa. That is so weird, and I'm pretty sure it's not happening.
Douglas
It's just
Costa's,
one of those media
I can't
things.
see that happening.
Bro, can I
can't.
tell you something? Yeah, Douglas Costa, I still have nightmares of. Like he's really tricky and he's really quick, but that dude cannot finish to save his life.
It's
Like,
not what we need, dude. Like,
No.
he'll just be
He's a good
another
winger. He's a good winger.
for sure, but we don't need that.
Yeah, you don't.
We need a Matic, somebody who can sit in front of the defense and organize that shit.
Yeah,
them
you
to
don't-
cool their
Xhaka.
heads.
You don't
Would you
really
like
have a
Granit Xhaka?
CDM.
We don't. Yeah.
What?
And
Ruben
then-
Neves.
He's not really a CDM.
dude. No, he's more like
What would
Ozil.
you-
I'd call him a creative
Okay.
midfielder. I wouldn't.
Bro, he's not a
maybe not a
cam.
creative midfielder.
Not
Maybe
a
he's
cam,
like
but more like
I think
The
he
box
plays
to
the same
box.
role as
Gundogan.
Granit Xhaka. It's kind of like deep lying playmaker, kind of hits those long balls and kind of.
he's a box to box. I reckon.
Yeah, you'd love Thomas Partey in your team. Pretty spicy player.
You'd love De Bruyne in your team.
yeah.
Nah,
And then
fuck the.
Oh yeah, you got Emile Smith Rowe.
apart from that, I'd want to see a sign just like a boomer striker, like just somebody who can help out.
Higuain would be great for you guys.
Bro, Higuain's
You
washed.
guys are cutting off. I don't know if you can hear me right now. I'm
Yeah,
good
we
at
can hear you,
50
but you're a bit. Oh, there
Okay,
you are.
You're back. You're back.
You're back. We could hear you. We just couldn't see your face.
Hello. Okay,
Yeah,
I can hear you guys now. Sorry.
Wait.
I hope I wasn't speaking over you guys. I couldn't hear anything.
No, we could hear you, bro. Don't worry, bro. But he suggested Higuain. Bro, don't get Higuain. He's too boomer.
That guy also has a massive ego. Like, fuck that. He'd pull up being like, "Oh, Wolves, I'm beyond this club." You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think. Do you know who'd be really good for you? I think like Andre Silva or Rafael
a lot of people say that.
Leao.
Yeah, because they're Portuguese. Everyone's like, "Oh, yeah, why not just bring Silva?"
You
But
try and get
low-key,
Messi.
Silva. Yeah, for sure.
He's out of
And Ronaldo.
contract.
Do you know who actually would have been nuts for you guys? Okay, you never would have got him because you're not like, no offense, you're not that big a club. You remember
Yeah,
when
for
Luis Suarez got his contract terminated? Yo, could you imagine
Yeah.
Luis Suarez in the fucking Wolves team? Be nuts, dude.
Ah, he never would have done that.
Damn. Nah.
What about
Unless
Aguero? He's
Wolves have
leaving
big
this
bucks.
summer.
Yeah, get Aguero, dude. That's not even
I'd
that
like
stupid
that.
a signing.
I'd like that. No, I'd like that. But I doubt he wants to. I feel like
He wants to
Aguero's
go
the
from,
kind of
like,
guy who just wants to go back to Argentina and like just vibe with his family.
Yeah, he wants to go back to Argentina. Who are we
Yeah.
gonna replace him with?
Holland, maybe. Yo,
I'll
right,
list
we'll-
you. I'll list
we'll
you.
get to transfers at the end. Yeah.
All right, fine.
All right.
We still have to talk about Leicester, Spurs, United.
Yeah.
Do we need to talk about Leicester?
I was about to say
They're
Leicester.
second, or they're
Yeah,
third.
Leicester are a small club. We'll leave them out. Okay, we'll go to
That
Tottenham.
is outrageous.
We'll go Tottenham. Yeah, Tottenham. They
I don't
suck,
think there's
bro.
much to say about Tottenham, dude. They're just like,
Bro, their ass is all I have to say.
Bro, remember when they were at the top of the table? They were.
Bro, I told you this. They're not title contenders, and everyone
they're
was
not.
like,
I never thought they
everyone was-
would win.
Bro, everyone was blowing them and just being like, "Oh my god, Mourinho's back again. He's gonna do it." Fuck that, dude.
I never thought they'd
Dude.
win, but they were
They
playing
need to
well.
believe,
They
man.
weren't going to keep it up.
Bro, if you just look at their recent results, they got banged 2-0 by Leicester. They drew to Wolves. Okay, they beat Leeds 3-0, but that's Leeds. Then they had 2 cup runs. They drew 1-1 to Fulham, and then they beat Sheffield United. That's basically like beating, like, anyone can beat them. I don't think they're
Yeah.
that good, dude.
I don't think they're that bad either. And I think that if you're a Tottenham fan and Mourinho brings home like the EFL Cup, because they're in the final, right?
Yeah,
And then
they're gonna
I don't know,
get shit
gets
on
like
by
to the
City.
semifinals or the finals of the Europa League and gets top 6 or 5 or 4 even.
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
think that's
shit
a
on them
good
in the FA.
season, dude.
Yeah, you
Like
will.
Tottenham fans should not expect shit. Let's be real.
Yeah,
They should not. So just give Mourinho time, and I think Tottenham will get there. But like you said, yeah, I think I probably got a bit overhyped in the beginning.
But what I'll
Tottenham
say,
side-
right? I think Mourinho's a bit stuck because his best creative outlet is actually Reguilon. He's so good at whipping balls in for Harry Kane, and I think if you look at the last game when they played Sheffield United, he changed it up instead of doing what he was doing before, which is a 3-man midfield, a 4 back, and then a 3 up front. He changed it to a 3 back, 4 midfield, and 3 up front. So he kind of let Reguilon go wild down the wing. And Ndombele's been really good as well. But I think something you said a lot, Gui, when Harry Kane and Heung-min Son aren't vibing, they're fucking useless, dude.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
and Harry Kane
especially-
will get injured. Harry Kane always gets injured for about 2 months. So that dude will miss about 2 months of the season, and they're just gonna plummet, dude.
It's like he has a period every year. It's that time of the year again where he gets injured. Like it never
That time of
doesn't
the year
happen.
for Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when Tottenham put on like Vinicius or something,
Oh my god,
Yeah.
did you guys see that
it's just
Mbappe?
like not that
Did you,
good.
did you guys see when he did that Mbappe celebration after scoring from like 1 yard out against Marine?
He thought he was a dog's bollocks.
Bro, their stadium is so fucking. They're such a small team that their stadium, there are people sitting in their back garden and they could literally watch this game. And Vinicius scores from 2 yards out, goes to the camera like, bro, who do you think you are? You're scoring against Marine from 1 yard out. And he blasted it. It wasn't even like he just kind of.
Didn't he not score a hat trick though?
Bro, it's Marine. I could score a hat trick against Marine. Like it's not something that's like, ooh, do you know what I mean? Like
No,
if you
like,
beat Marine,
genuinely.
if you beat Marine 5-0, you wouldn't be like, yo, City are back.
You know, you say that all the time, right? Like, oh, I could score that goal or I could do this or that, right? But unironically, I'm pretty sure all three of us could play in that game and fit into the Marine set. Dude, they're not professional footballers. They're in the 8th division. They
Yeah,
have
it's-
jobs.
It is the
It's for
biggest.
fun.
It's the biggest gap between teams, like in terms of how far teams are away in the FA Cup history.
Yeah.
Like this should not be a cup. They should have scored about 15, not 5. Like these people, I think their goalkeeper is a painter or something.
Yeah.
Like these,
football is a side hustle.
yeah,
They don't even. It's not enough to make.
It's like GAA. It's like GAA.
exactly.
Here GAA, they don't get paid to do it. They just play it for the crack, and they all have separate jobs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Anyway, this is an unimportant tangent. This is a fun one though. But anyway, back to the overall points.
Yeah,
Tottenham
fuck
in the Prem,
Spurs.
right?
Now let's
I
move
think
off
we all
Spurs
agree.
altogether. They're
Yeah, I think there's nothing to say. Just like whatever. We'll see what happens.
I think-
Probably nothing exciting, but
let me put it this way. I don't think Tottenham. Actually, I think I've just come up with this. This is live creation for everyone who is watching. Let's do at the end of it a prediction for the rest of the season. So we've had half a season's worth of data to kind of make our predictions. We'll just predict where the top 6 will finish, plus Wolves. But yeah.
alrighty.
Moving on. Okay, we'll do like a 2-second segment on Leicester. Yeah, they're all right. Let's move on.
They're
No,
third. They're third.
Like, okay, they're not bad yet. And I think when they played against Chelsea, and since they've got the likes of Ndidi to come back, and he's
Did
been
you
able
hear Martin Tyler? Or was it Martin Tyler? I think it was.
Ndidi!
Oh yes, indeed.
He scored
What a
a
banger.
banger. Yeah. No, but I think with the resurgence of Ndidi, he's been able to play his 4-1-4-1 system that Brendan Rodgers likes. But I'm not worried about Leicester at all. I think they're going to finish about 5th or 6th because he always does. Brendan Rodgers always does well in the first half of the season and then just fucking collapses in the second half of the season. He's done it. He did it with Liverpool. He did it with Leicester last season. He did it with fucking everyone. So I'm not really very worried.
I'll
What
be
I like
honest. I
about
think
Leicester,
we're
though,
staring at our
thus
top
far,
4 right
is that
now.
it doesn't seem like really.
Let me have a look at who that is. What were you gonna say, Gray?
I just think like Leicester don't think too much of themselves. Like they don't think that they're a top 6 side and going to games like arrogantly, and like
'cause
they
they're ass.
respect their opponents a lot. And that's honestly the biggest factor I think in why they're consistent at beating the smaller sides, generally
Yeah.
speaking, right? And they have like a good goal difference. They're having fun with it, right? But I just think Leicester, yeah, they don't see themselves as on the same level as Liverpool, City, United, or anything like that. And that consistency has helped them so much.
Yeah, I reckon they go into games against the top 6 thinking, "Oh, right, lads, we're probably
man.
going to lose, but let's give this a crack."
Nah, see,
They
you
have
say
like
that.
30% possession stats sometimes.
Bro, you say
against,
that, right? In terms of their last few games against the top 6, 2-0 Tottenham,
No, they
2
win.
all,
Yeah.
2 all Man U.
But they play it very organized and chill. You know, they don't go in like thinking, all right, let's just bang them. We're better. Like, nah,
Yeah.
let's take it easy. Let's hold, as much possession as we can. Let them have the ball. take our time with it. So I think that respect has helped them a lot.
I think also, I agree, but I think also something that Leicester might be a bit, if I was a Leicester fan, I'd be a bit worried about is kind of the lack in form of Jamie Vardy. This season he's got a decent amount of goals, but Harvey Barnes has more goals from open play. So it's not like
Harvey Barnes is cracked.
I know he's good, but he's not like you're expecting Jamie Vardy to score way more.
Do you know what?
I think
I take Harvey Barnes over Sterling.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
There's no, you wouldn't. I would take Harvey Barnes over Saka. I'm not taking him over Sterling.
Like he's playing better than Sterling. Who cares?
Yeah, currently. Well, I think Harvey Barnes is good and whatever, but like I said with Leicester, I'm not really. Like I said with Tottenham, I'm not really worried about them. I think when Arsenal play them, I'm not kind of fearful. I think they're a good team. They're an organized team. I think they're actually what Wolves aspire to be. Kind of this well-organized team that doesn't really can beat the big teams, but consistently beats the small teams. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm not too worried. I think that they'll drop out of the top 4 by the end of the season, but yeah, they're going well so far. On to the pretenders at the top of the league, Manchester United.
Kind of deserved, to be honest.
Nah, don't do that, George.
All right. So you're gonna say they're bad, but then you're gonna go suck off Paul Pogba in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. Look, I don't think Man United are that good, and I'll explain my reasoning. In terms of if you look at their Champions League run, obviously the Champions League run ended on December the 8th when they lost 3-2 to RB Leipzig. I think we've always said that Man United have incredible players. We've always said that they have superstars in their team and all they need is to click. And I think they're just doing enough to click by. Like if you look at if you look at the recent games, they drew 2-2 to Leicester. Fair enough. It's a well-organized team that they struggled to break down. They weren't able to win. They beat Wolves 1-0 with a 93rd very, very lucky goal. The rest they beat Aston Villa 2-1. They beat Burnley 1-0. They drew 0-0 to Liverpool and they beat Fulham 2-1. These are not score lines like Manchester City's where it's like 4-0 bang, well played. They were the better team. These are score lines where it's like, yeah, they only won by 1 goal against Watford, Burnley, Fulham, and Aston Villa.
And they've choked in big games and competitions, right? In the EFL Cup, choked. Champions League, choked. Against Liverpool. I thought Liverpool was a better side.
Now you can say that Man United can just concentrate on the Premier League now. They don't have any outside competitions to worry about.
True. That's true as well.
But they're not going to win it this year.
I sort of see what Conor's saying, and I think I agree for the most part. But the question is just this one, Conor. Is there a side that can be better than what United is doing that is just getting by? Because the Premier League doesn't have that one dominant side. And I don't think City, for me, is the most convincing right now. But, dude, this has been changing from a month-to-month basis. Next month, it could be Liverpool. Next month, it could be Tottenham again. I doubt it, but it could.
I promise you, yeah. Okay, so when we look at let's just look at United's next 5 fixtures in the Premier League. They will beat Sheffield United because Sheffield United are shit. When they play us, we will beat them. And I'm super confident about that. I'm so confident.
Yo, somebody clip this shit, boys.
Hey,
PR review, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I'll tell you why. Arsenal were playing so bad at the start of the season. If you looked at it, there was a point in this season where we had 15 games. We had 1 win in 15 games, and it was to Man United. I don't know what it is about Arsenal and Man United. We always just seem to pull it through. We're in a really good run of form. We are a well-organized, structured team, which they will find difficult to break down. And I think we'll beat them. So I'm really confident about it. I want
to see
you know what's going to happen.
United looks like when they actually believe that. No, he's not. Stop.
Paul Pogba will score against United or against Arsenal. Sorry.
True, and then Connor's like, "Yeah, nah, fuck this guy. Canceling our date."
Okay, we haven't even got onto Paul Pogba loving yet, but
no, I'm not actually talk about him. My brain actually can't handle it. But
I can't be fucking arsed.
You should say.
I'll
Talk about it
oh,
off
fine, I'll
camera
go-
all you want.
I'll,
but
I'll go a little on a little rant. Yeah, but anyways,
Can we rant about Martial? We all agree he's dog shit, right?
Yeah, no, we'll talk about that in a
Perfect.
second. But I think that they'll struggle against Southampton because I really rate their manager, and the Everton one will be really hard for them as well. I mean, if you look at who the teams that they've been beating recently,
Wait. Before you go on, do you remember the last game against Southampton? I
They
watched
banged
that
them,
one the
didn't
whole way. No, they came back from banged,
oh
you
yeah,
could say.
3-2, they came back.
Did you watch
yeah.
that game?
Mm-hmm.
That game actually showed a
Cavani
lot of
header.
passion and like a fiery. I don't know. Players believed, and players seem like they're believing all of a sudden. Remember, we said, or I said at least, that Man U was never going to win the Prem because their players just don't seem like they care that much to be consistent for an entire year.
Yeah.
Now that's the one thing I think that is changing. I don't think anybody's being individually that much better, apart from Pogba, sure. But yeah, like I don't know. It seems like something's changed. There's a leader in the dressing room, or Ole's got people together.
It's
I don't
Bruno
know. But
Fernandes.
it seems like they believe. It could be Bruno. I don't know. I'm not in the dressing room, right? But
I'm telling you
he
this.
definitely plays a role. He definitely plays a role.
I'm telling you this. Yeah, Man United. When you look at that squad, all right. If we're just looking at the sample size of the games they've won and how they've played, if you look at that versus the players they have, in my opinion, they should be doing better.
Yeah.
Obviously, top of the league.
Yeah.
Obviously, top of the league, great job. But okay, even if you just look at the squad that played Fulham, that they only beat 2-1, right? This is a shit Fulham side. This is not even like one of those good weird championship sides that come up and you're like, oh, they're hard to beat. These guys are ass. I think we beat them 3-0, and I turned the game off at halftime because we were 3-0 up. I was like, fuck it, I don't need to watch it anymore. Like, this is bad Fulham team. They have Eric Bailly, who I really rate. I think he's actually United's best center back. David De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw's ass, actually. Paul Pogba, Fred's playing really well. Bruno Fernandes, probably the most informed player in the league. Mason Greenwood, who's supposed to be this fucking golden child, and he's playing complete ass this season. Then we have Cavani, who thinks is dog shit, but I think is quite good. So,
What?
Bro,
You're agreeing with me
I swear to God,
before.
the last podcast or the second last one we did, you two were calling me crazy for calling Cavani good.
he's not good.
I didn't call you crazy. I just said that we should calm down and see how he does.
Bro,
That's what
you
I
said he was your quote was he was world class. That dude is not world
Bro,
class.
he is. He is world class.
He is
Okay.
not world class.
He is.
We're
I
not
think
gonna.
he was world
I-
class.
I
That is
think he-
accurate. Right now, nah. Close,
think-
but nah.
He
I
was
think-
world class at one point in his career. Can we agree
I
that?
agree. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
100%.
no. There was a
Yes.
point at PSG where he was really good in the Champions League and he played.
2018
really well.
World Cup. He
All right,
popped
I'll
off,
take
dude.
that as a compromise.
I'll never forget.
Yeah. But currently, when Ibrahimovic came to Man United, he kind of popped off for that season. He wasn't very good, but he kind of got the numbers up there. That's who he reminds me of. But
He's not getting
yeah.
enough game time now. He only starts like 1 out of every 4 games.
Yeah.
Well, he was banned. Well, stupid ass ban. Jesus Christ.
But anyways, I think Man United are going to start going down the table a little bit. I think I could see them kind of leveling like 3rd, 4th. I think Liverpool and City will kind of show a bit more consistency. But yeah, it's been impressive. I didn't think Ole would be able to turn it around. I think I would have thought that weird games like Burnley or Aston Villa, they might, but they have been getting very lucky. We all know this season about how the game ended and Bruno Fernandes was still able to take a penalty. How they scored in the 93rd minute against Wolves. Like, they have been getting lucky, if we're all being
It's kind of like reminiscent of Liverpool, some of Liverpool's finishes last season.
Yeah,
I know
that's true.
Liverpool,
Yeah.
most of the time, they deserve to win, but there were 1 or 2 games where they won in like the 97th minute or whatever it
Yeah.
was and grabbed the 3 points.
Yep. All right, so that wraps up the top 6 plus Wolves since we've been gone.
Plus
We'll
Leicester.
do plus Leicester. We've done we have about 9 minutes left, so we'll do a bit of transfer news. We'll do a little bit of predictions for the rest of the season, since this is technically the mid-season point. And yeah, we'll move on from there. First, actually, and then talk about a bit of transfer news, since that's less structured. George, give us your top 6. Top
My
6
top
plus
6.
if Wolves are getting relegated. relegated. If you haven't thought about it, I can go first.
Let me just look at the table. I know who my top 4 are anyway. So, people call me biased, but I genuinely think City can finish first.
Yeah.
Liverpool second. United third. Leicester fourth. Then Tottenham. And I'm just going to throw a weird one in there. West Ham. Why not? West Ham over Chelsea.
George is predicting Arsenal and Chelsea to finish out of the top 6. Fair enough. Where you go last. So you go for second week because mine's a bit controversial.
I think mine will be too. I'm still thinking, but I think I'd say City champion.
Yeah.
United actually comes second. Liverpool third. Leicester fourth.
Okay.
And then Everton fifth, maybe, and Tottenham sixth. I think Tottenham might actually drop all the way. And Chelsea is not even there. They're just like 7th or 8th. Yeah, probably 7th. Yeah.
Okay.
Fair.
I don't know. That's kind of a crazy one, but that'd be fun.
Bro, mine's going to be a bit more nuts.
And Wolves. Wait, hold on.
Where are you?
Arsenal
where are you
first.
predicting us? Relegated?
Hell no, 11th, 10th.
All right. So Arsenal to win the league. No, just kidding. I think City to win the league. I think for as much shit as I've talked about them, I think Tottenham have a good chance of coming second, like far off second, like 10 points off or something. But I think Tottenham are in my top 3. So I'm going to go Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham third. And I'm going to throw a crazy one out there and say Arsenal finish 4th. It sounds nuts, right? It sounds nuts to say, but realistically, Arsenal are how many points? We are 5, 7, we're 8 points off 4th, and we are like in our last 5 games, we've won 4, drawn 1.
It's definitely
so
doable.
I don't think it's I don't think it's undoable. I think if we continue at the pace we're going, teams are dropping points. Liverpool lost a random game. Tottenham have drawn 2, lost 1 in their last couple. So, and Chelsea are dog shit right now. So I think if we can keep up our form and we can maybe get a few signings in the January window, then I think we could get 4th or 5th. I'm just gonna. My head says 5th, my heart says 4th, so I'm gonna go with 4th. So who do I have left? I think Leicester will come 5th. I think they'll drop out of the top 4 again. And I'm gonna go Everton 6th, and I'm gonna say Chelsea gets 7th. And I'll say I think Wolves can push up to about 10th, 9th if they pull it all back together. If not, they'll rot around 12th, 14th.
Yeah, I should have said I think Wolves will finish mid-table-ish.
Yeah.
I think.
Got 5 minutes. Wait, what were we going to say?
I'll put Arsenal above Chelsea. I think you have.
Yeah, let's go.
So will I. That's a 7th place for me.
Because we're cracked.
I don't know why I put Everton 6th though. I said 6th, right? Or 5th?
Yeah.
I don't actually.
So weird that Everton were like looking so good.
I'm putting Everton up there just because their form's really good. They've won 4, lost 1, and their manager's really good. Like over a 38-game season, he's really good. So I just think that he'll be able to form some kind of consistency.
And like
Calvert-Lewin's
yeah, that's true.
Bahamas is there.
Dude, when they lose like 1-0 or like 2-1.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't looked like shit in a game, except that one against Liverpool early. Like
yeah, really
5-2, but that was a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some faith in that.
Yep. Cool. So in terms of the transfer news, I'll just kind of go over what Arsenal's been doing. You guys can talk about anything interesting that you want. It's kind of open-ended. I think that it's been really good for us in terms of moving out players. Socrates is gone. Kolasinac is gone. Ozil's gone. Those are 3 big ones. I think we might have another player that I'm just completely forgetting. But yeah, so we moved 3 or 4 big players out. Ozil's 350 grand gone off the wage bill. Socrates is 100 grand off the wage bill. Kolasinac is 110 grand off the wage bill. So you know what I mean? Like that adds up to be, 3, 4, nearly 600 grand a week off the wages, which is, happy days. In terms of incomings, there's been rumors to about 3 players. One of them's Buendia from Norwich, really good player, creates lots of chances. I don't think we'll get him because they're asking for something stupid like 50 M's. I think Julian Brandt is a big opportunity because Dortmund want 25 million for him. And I think he's
such a steal.
Yeah, he's so good, and he's 25 million. So I think if I was Arsenal, that's who I'd be going for. If we want to go really cheap and get maybe Odegaard on loan, I wouldn't be opposed to that either because it's kind of risk-free. But yeah, those are the people we're being linked to currently.
I'm looking for City news. I don't really see much going on.
What about you guys?
Nothing much is happening. Just want to mention, you guys saw Ericsson.
He might be going to Tottenham. Yeah,
I don't think that would change much about the Tottenham season, but
they're saying they're swapping Ali for Ericsson. That might be a deal that's gonna happen.
Bro, they're both ass. I don't know why anyone would want them.
You're being again, bro.
Also, one of the headlines is Frank Lampard could be sacked very soon.
Who do you think could? Oh, interestingly, who do you guys think could replace him?
Ooh.
I don't know. Frankly, no clue.
If Big Sam was still going, I'd say Big Sam.
What, to save them from relegation?
Yeah. Who is there? I don't really know who's available at the moment.
Apparently, the Martin Odegaard deal is supposed to be very close to coming.
That would be a very good signing.
I think he's nuts, dude. Weirdly enough, I haven't seen him play. I just know him from games and stuff. For some reason on Football Manager, okay, the way the stats work, it's 1 to 20. So 20 being you're perfect. So Ronaldo has 20 finishing, and 1 is basically you couldn't hit a fucking goal from 2 meters out. But this guy has 6 finishing on Football Manager, which makes me think he just can't finish, which would be quite sad. But yeah, Edouard might be coming. Oh, interestingly, I know this guy. This doesn't really spark any interest to you guys. It's just because my dad used to live there. Apparently, some Zambian striker from RB Leipzig, not Leipzig, from RB Salzburg. Yeah, which would be quite cool.
But Zambia.
He's Zambian, but he plays in the Austrian league.
Right. But you said your dad used to live there.
Yeah.
City are linked with Haaland and João Felix. So,
bro, I'm telling you, yeah. If City get João Felix, the league is over.
Here,
that's
imagine.
So wild. What? I don't think that's happening. Atletico paid 120 million for that kid.
Yeah,
letting him go unless it's
yeah, it's not happening this window.
Big bank.
Right.
Yeah. Less than a minute left.
Cut off.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Scoreline podcast. We promise we'll have more episodes out soon.
We'll see you again in 3 months.
Yeah, see you again in 3 months. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.